no. Not yet. More snaking, more head tossing. Invitation to parallel prints. Oh, snaking again. Come here now. Yes, I love you. Of course I do. No, no playing. Not now, for Pete's sake. No play, no ride. This young man is very determined here. Come here, right now. Come on. No, we can't play now. Another glance at the crowd. Hey, pay attention, will you please? Dirty nostril, my goodness. Alright, here we go. Great moments in history. If you will please stand, I'll bring... Come back here, young man. Back up. Now will you please stand? No. Calling him back. At this stage, I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever going to get on him. He's walking past the crowd again, glancing at him every once in a while, making certain everyone is watching. Calling him back. Look, let's get this over with, will ya? No, no play. Now cut it out. I mean it. Now behave yourself, will you? Finally, hopefully, great moments in history. Is he going to stand? Yes. Brush a little dust off his back. And, ta-da, and the bite on the toes to play, punch, bite on the toes to play, punch, bite on the toes to play, crash, ladder goes over, no big deal. Toss the bat away, certainly don't want that when we're riding, or need it, and off we go. Each step we take is preemptory to the next. Bit by bit, piece by piece, we incrementally develop the full interactive pattern. Behavioral scientists might regard this as a combination of shaping and chaining. Combustion has never had a bit in his mouth. In fact, he's only worn a halter a few times in his life to this point. There are two reasons that I'm simulating using reins. First and foremost, above all else, this is the first time I will be making various requests while he carries me. I want this initial tactility of the very minute pressure of my seat and legs to his body to be imprinted as deeply as possible as I call the vocal requests. Transferring Western to English riding later will be easily accomplished. Of course, stabilizing my own emotional state at that point was a bonus, for, to be honest, his unexpected antics and constant pleading to play had caught me completely off guard. Never before had he refused to stand quietly while I mounted up. As I was expecting 3 or 4 spectators, not 10 times that many, the reinforcement of familiarity certainly did not hurt. Oh, please excuse the chair position. It has nothing to do with riding Western. The injuries I referred to earlier from my Iron Horse national competitions causes rather excruciating pain when I attempt to correct my riding position. And off we go. Uh-oh. Say, young man, you were supposed to turn G back there. Let's do that over, please. Come on now. G. Very good. Now turn haw. How about a little trot? Shake the reins a little. And stop. Back. Very good. Unorthodox dismount. An honest engine. I'm not pulling hard in his tail. Stop, bump in the chest, didn't step on my feet. Very good. Crawl under with a firm head belly bump or two. And another beg to play. Will you quit now? No play, not now. What have you got in your ear? How do you get a burdock in your ear? Well, now's not the time for that. You are settled down, right? Okay. Come on now, fall in here. Kaboom. Come on, Grandpa, let's play just a little, please. No, not now. There's the cutest. That's the hand cue for stand. We use a combined hand voice and where applicable body stance request for several reasons. One is to develop a bridge language. A second is to accelerate the transference from hand-body communication to voice, as the majority of equine communication is body language. The third is to simply raise the horse's awareness of vocal communication. Occasionally, to the mild dismay of some of my neighbors, all of my horses are extremely vocal when attempting to communicate with me. Some mornings it sounds like an equine chorus. For those interested, this, what was to me a rather momentous occasion, can be viewed in its entirety without interruptions at the conclusion of this film. One last stand and come request before we close out the session. Yawn, looking at the crowd. All things considered, I guess he stayed remarkably focused. Alert, responsive. One more ear flicker at the crowd. Request to come. Beautiful. Beautiful. Why on earth I put my hand on his nose that day, I have no idea. Perhaps it was the lingering aftermath of stage fright. This is our hold still cue. If the stand cue is comparable to the military at ease, this would be asking for a full brace attention. We use it when we have to clean their ears or eyes, look in their mouth, clean genitals and udders, give them shots, and so on. Very good. And a hug. And a kiss. Wait a second. Hold on. That was kind of a peck in the cheek. Let's show the folks what a real big kiss is, okay? How about that big kiss? Good boy. Perhaps at some future meeting of the world's greatest academic and scientific minds, they will better be able to articulate the rapport and the caring I share with all my horses, including combustion. In the meantime, I suppose the word friendship will have to suffice, though it seems woefully inadequate when I think of the depth of our rapport and mutual affection we share together, as it far surpasses any casual fondness. Though I've invested thousands upon thousands of hours researching the world's leading equine ethologists and research scientists, and tens of thousands more of both observation and interactive study of domesticated horses, I am the last person on earth to believe I will ever know it all. Each day I learn something new that helps me better understand the horse. But I do know this much beyond any shadow of doubt. I know that our past and present training formats and management practices are the very cause of every equine conundrum ever experienced by a human. If any of them were truly successful, our equine magazines and internet group lists would not be filled with behavioral issues and bad horse problems. Sooner or later, we must come to the realization that the final answer for any true harmony between a horse and a human is not found with a whip or a round pen or a magic aid or someone endowed with special powers. The final answers are in our own hearts and minds, bent on complete understanding and the benevolent compassion of a concerned caretaker for what can only be God's greatest masterpiece in the animal world. A little over 60 years ago, my, how time flies, found me in the garden weeding with my mother. In answer to my lamenting pleas to go adventuring in the woods with my dog and BB gun instead of this boring task, she said, "A weed is just a plant we haven't found a use for yet." For some reason, that stuck with me throughout my life. Not so much the weeds in the garden, but how our perception of things in life can dramatically change when we simply alter our thinking and perspective. That simple allegory became a bothersome irritation that found me questioning my own thinking years later. For instance, why do we continue to have so many bad horse problems with an animal that has remained virtually unchanged mentally, instinctually, and emotionally for the 6,000 years we've been using them? Are they somehow born bad? Or is there some genetic predominance that makes them bad as they mature? Why do these same behavioral bad horse problems seem to pop up in each generation of equestrians? Why does the number of those bad horse problems seem to be disproportionately increasing in the last generation rather than decreasing? Something seems highly illogical. Something doesn't fit. If the horse has remained unchanged, why were we still having so many bad horse problems? What if, just what if, there is no such thing as a bad horse? What if the real problem was with our thinking and perspective? What if there was a way to prevent all those bad behavioral horse problems? Would horse owners care? Or would the burden of tradition cloud their common sense and judgment? And exactly how can we not only prevent all those behavioral bad horse problems, but also nullify those already imprinted on the hearts and minds of present-day domesticated horses? The answer? The answer is actually quite simple, as it is for most complex human conundrums, and explained in the succeeding videos. And naturally, it has nothing to do with the use of whips, cordeos, lariats, round pens, clickers, lunge lines, or magic aids. There are some training formats that ascribe to a horse and a human playing as some form of relational benefit. While there are numerous times during this video that I refer to combustion requesting to play with me, I categorically do not condone any type of play activity for any horse owner with any horse, period. Why? Several reasons. The first being that each person has their own conception of human equine play. Until such time as an accurate description of human equine play is concisely documented, it would be sheer folly to condone it, much less encourage it on any level. There are simply too many variables. Secondly, equine play is a physically rough social interactive. Pitting 1,000 pounds of bone, muscle, teeth, and hooves against the frailty of the human body could well be considered hazardous. No matter how gentle whatever form of play one uses, that level of play can, impulsively with no intent to do great bodily harm, escalate to a higher level in a microsecond. Even an unintentional misstep or miscalculation by the horse is possible. In both scenarios, the end result is a severely injured or dead human. This results in the horse getting blamed and in all likelihood suffer the consequence of physical punishment for being a bad horse, which of course is a non-existent creature yet to be born. So while I do not forbid anyone else playing with their horse, I simply do not condone it in any way, shape, or form. The term friendship training is a rather misleading, if not blatant, misnomer, for it encompasses not only the personal responsibility of affording total environmental enrichment for the domesticated horse, and human learning from the empirical studies of highly accredited international ethologists and research scientists, but also establishing the pure attachment relationship as well. In the following sequence and other succeeding videos, I'll try to offer a bit more insight into the comparative and differential aspects of what we refer to as friendship training.